Well, first I'll talk about what basically cloud is. Normally in an environment, let's say a data center, you have all of your equipment on site or at a site where you maintain it, you upgrade it, you patch it, you do all these things to keep it up to date and to keep it running and backing up and all the different things you would do for, let's say, an infrastructure, right? With a cloud environment, it's virtualized, it isn't on site, and whoever is hosting that environment really owns the maintenance, the accountability, and the responsibility of keeping it up to date, to keep it going, to keep it backed up, and all these other different areas of services that are matched with it. And with it, it's flexible, it is mobile, technically, and it makes it easier for real estate purposes. Costs, the return on investment alone, from a cost perspective for a customer, you're just paying for use of a system. You're basically renting a system, so to speak, or leasing, however you want to phrase it. But it is where the growth, it can grow exponentially as far as maintaining the whatever service contract you will have. But basically, the cloud host maintains the system, updates the system, patches the system, and keeps it up and running 24/7 by 365. So that basically, so instead of, there is a data center somewhere because people think cloud, it's in the clouds. Well, technically there is an actual data center and locations, multiple locations in multiple areas that host these systems for customers. I think this technology changes the game 100% for public safety. And why do I say that? I was a field person. I understand the pain points when certain maintenance levels and patching and troubleshooting happen on a dispatch console, for instance, and the level of effort it takes to move a dispatcher from one console to another. There now gives more flexibility and a quicker time frame to get that service working somewhere else. The benefit also is from a disaster recovery perspective. You can have flexibility in where your location of your, so to speak, standby or hot site, your DSR site would be in an environment, your remote sites. I could go on and on. So there's a level of flexibility. Now, back in the day when voice over IP first emerged, and everybody's like, PBXs, how would voice work? These, these voice systems, 20 years, they keep running. Don't fix it if it isn't broken mentality. And I understand that part of it, the reliability. But that reliability can translate to a virtualized type of environment, a cloud, quote unquote, hosted environment. I've worked in cloud hosted environments for quite a while now, almost 8 years. And I understand the pain points, but reality is there is more wins and more pros than there are cons in the environment. But I understand public safety, that 5 nines, that level of reliability, because we're talking lives are in everyone's hands that are for that specific agency. So when you're talking about, lives are, basically the radio has to work. The console, the dispatcher has to speak. Lives are at, whether it's a life-saving situation or a life-threatening situation, we want to have our public safety protectors and our public safety savers have that capability without any interference. I mean, even when you look at from an unseen situation, and their live video can stream up to live investigation. It's real time, which, years ago that wouldn't happen. And it can go up to their server and be available for whatever agency a resource needs to be looking at that live feed on the spot, on the moment. There's so many wins and pros to going toward a cloud environment. Now, Motorola, for all these years, we've had the isolated environments, which is understandable, where the Astro system, for instance, or K-Core, whatever the type of Astro it is on site. It's isolated. There are no outside connections, that type of thing, where agencies are a little concerned. We are following the standards. We are following our federal mandates. Basically, all of Motorola, all our products go through an extensive assessment, testing, and review, risk analysis. These are all part of the processes involved in, from a cybersecurity perspective, believe it or not. It's not just about product teams and developers. There's also security professionals embedded in all these different areas of a product engagement. And we have, not only do we have teams assessing that side of it, we don't do add-ons or snap-on. We bake in all of security features and requirements. We follow the frameworks. We follow the NIST framework. We follow OWASP, SAM from a software assurance maturity model, but we embed all the security design, security architecture, different levels of testing, whether it's SAST or DAST, which is from SAST would be the static testing, which happens prior to, during the building of the actual coding, right? DAST is where once it's completed and testing in operation. So these are some of the items that we use to, during the design and build process. Everything goes through these different, trying to look for the word here, I'm sorry, procedures and approaches in the best practices and the standards and the frameworks within Motorola and within the industry. We don't police our own. We're not the fox checking out the hen house. We have outside auditors that come in and audit our systems, audit our processes, audit our products and the way we maintain them and the way we, from a security perspective and a service perspective as well. We have the ISO certification for our services, our SOC, our NOC, our technical support organization, and we're now in the process of getting SOC 2 and ISO certification on our products.